If you're running lead gen ads for your home improvement business and you're testing everything at once, so you're testing different videos, hooks, headlines, images, you're basically just guessing. And when an ad fails, you've no idea why it failed. So you don't learn anything and the budget just disappears. Today I'm going to show you the exact testing process we use to find winning ads in under 48 hours. We call it the AVO method, which stands for ad variable optimization. By the end of this video, you'll know how to set up a proper testing campaign, how to read your results, and how to scale only the ads that deserve more budget. Right, so really quickly, before we actually get to the setup, I think it's important you understand the 4 key areas of any ad. So as you can see here, you have what's called the hook. Now the hook is the first sentence of any video, the first line if you like. This is going to be the deciding factor on if you've intrigued them enough, or you've touched on a certain pain point, or you've created some sort of emotion that makes them click that little see more button to read more of what you've got to say. It's the deciding factor on if someone actually stops scrolling and if you can actually separate yourself from all the noise. You also have the ad copy, which is the big bulk of content, which obviously provides more detail on what it is you actually have to offer, why your product is best. The actual core unique selling points of your product will be in, or product or service will be in this ad copy section here. You then have the creative, another huge important area of how you're going to be able to generate consistent results. The creative, this can be video, images, carousels. Really important you invest heavily in the content that you actually have and the creative you have, because if you don't get this right, it can be detrimental and you can be just burning money. And then finally you've got the headline here as well, which is obviously the bit of content that goes next to the call to action here. Again, there's various different aspects. There's more aspects than this, but these are the main ones that we test in our testing phase. But yeah, every single aspect should be tested thoroughly to make sure that you know what you're putting out there and what you're putting your hard-earned money behind actually works. Okay, so let's go over to Ads Manager and let me show you actually how we would set up a campaign that we were going to test. So we will always test ad copy first. So this is the big bulk of content. We'll come up with 5 to 6 different variations of that big bulk of content and run it 5 different times. So let me show you exactly how we would set this up. So we will go to create at the top here. Now, because we're testing for unique click-through rate, this is the metric that we're going to use to judge if that ad has performed well or not. So we don't want to necessarily generate for leads, so we're going to set up the campaign for traffic. We want to see what's getting people to click through. We'll always click the manual traffic campaign, press continue. We want to name this so we actually know what it is we have lined up. So we might call it copy testing. Really important point to make sure that you're naming all your campaigns so they actually make sense to you. So say you were doing it in November like it is now, copy testing November, just something to make sure you know what campaign it is. All of that can stay the same. We're then going to press next. Now this is what's called the ad set level. So this is where you set up your audience, the type of people you want to be targeting, also the landing page you want to be taking people to. So in this, we're obviously selecting website, send traffic to your website or landing page, whatever it is. Again, we're going to name it copy testing ad set. Make sure it's clear. Again, the performance goal is maximize number of landing page views. Yeah, that's fine. Daily budget, so you can set how much you're willing to spend on a daily basis. Obviously, the more you spend, the quicker you're going to be able to get through the testing phase and get that sorted. But yeah, we usually start off with £30 a day just for this initial testing phase. So in this section, obviously, you can select the types of people you want to be seeing your ads. So say we were a loft conversion business based in Manchester. We would obviously search in here, Manchester, we'd search that in there, whatever mile radius we were willing to do quote visits from, or what customers we were willing to actually go and visit. Let's say a 30-kilometer radius. Now, again, we want to untick this because reach more people likely to respond to your ads. You could actually end up with people in Scotland seeing your ads, and Meta just wants to try and get as much traffic as possible. But if it's not your relevant customers, there's no point. So untick that. Again, age, so we're talking loft conversions, so potentially we might want to go 30 to 65 plus. That's the types of people we want to be targeting. And you see there on the right hand side, it gives you an estimated audience size. So the estimated audience size is 1.6 to 1.9 million, which is great. Usually we wouldn't want to go any lower than this, especially when we're testing relatively broad. We want to give Meta enough data to know the types of people that it needs to be showing the ads to, and also what content is working best. But that's pretty much fine. It does let you do interest targeting. So if you wanted to search, like say you're a solar business, you can always look for people that have shown an interest in solar systems, solar energy. But realistically, it's going to narrow the audience too much, and we want to keep it relatively broad. So that's the ad set. And here we come on to the actual ad itself. So what we're going to call this, we're going to call it ad copy testing 1. And what we're going to do here is we will, so you've got the website URL, obviously put where you want to actually send your traffic, turn off multi-advertiser ads, we don't want that on, and then you can obviously select the format here. So if you want to upload a single image or a video, you've got the options there, or if you want to upload a carousel, you can select that option as well. We don't want to add the call button, and then this is where we set up the creative. So we're going to go to, let's just say we're creating an image ad. We're going to press next, upload a image. So let's say this image here. For example, let's say we're doing loft conversions and we wanted to use that image. So yeah, we just select that, go to next. Now again, it's always best to format it in the way that it is for sort of stories. So you can hear, you get a preview of the square is what's pretty much going to be seen on people's timelines, and then you've got the story format as well here. So if possible, try and make sure they are actually fitting those dimensions. Then you go next. So the primary text, this is where I always have another Google Doc with all my ad copy in it, so I can just copy and paste everything over. So this entire copy is going to be going into the primary text section, which is there. Now always watch out for these Advantage Plus creative text generation. It's Meta's AI. It's trying to tell you and give you other options for your ad copy, but we don't want that because we've created this ad copy and we're testing this specific ad copy. So if these are on, it's going to throw all the data that you've got because it's giving out other suggestions to the people that are seeing your ads. So always make sure that you turn that off and that isn't on, and tailor variations to personas, we're turning that off, which is fine. We're then just going to add a generic headline in there. I think I've got some headlines at the bottom of here. So space without moving home, let's use that. Okay. And then you can change your call to action. So say you wanted it to be, you can have get quote, learn more, contact us, book now. We usually go with learn more, and we have tested it. We usually find this is it's not a big commitment from the people that are seeing your ads. Pressing learn more isn't buy now or get quote. It's almost easing them into the landing page where you're able to convert them a little bit better. So we'll go with learn more. Again, some AI image creation stuff that they do, but we're all good with that for now. And again, you want to double check that all these enhancements are turned off. We want full control over everything. We don't want Meta coming up with variations that are going to actually throw our data. So press done. Okay, so we have our ad actually set up as it is. Now, all we're going to do at this process is we're going to quickly duplicate. We're going to rename. So this is ad copy testing 2. We're then going to go down to the primary text section. We're going to select our ad copy 2 that we're going to test. We're going to insert that in there. We're then literally quickly duplicate. Now, I won't bore you with it. We'll come back to myself once we've actually added them all in. Just a real quick one from me. If you're a home improvement business doing over 100k a year, this part will probably matter more to you than the actual testing itself. Everything I'm showing you here, the AVO method, the testing structure, the unique click-through metrics, all of that sits inside a bigger system we run for home improvement businesses, and it's called Enhanced AI. It's a completely done-for-you service. We film your ads, build your funnels, run all your campaigns, track every single variable, and handle all the optimization. And our AI appointment setter replies to your leads instantly, qualifies them, and books appointments for you while you're on site or you're simply just working on the business. And the best part, we don't get paid if we don't generate you results. If we don't hit your KPIs, you literally don't pay the following month. So the entire system is engineered around performance, not retainers. So if you want to see how we could actually plug this system into your business and also see if your area is actually still available, there's a link in the description. No pressure, it's just an informal chat and an opportunity for you to book a call and have a quick conversation. But if you're not quite at that stage yet and you just want to improve your conversions with a better landing page, the funnels we use are built on perspective. It's mobile first, stupidly fast, and consistently converts way better than standard websites or meta lead forms. I've left a link below where you can sign up to Perspective. If you use that link, get 30 days free on Perspective just for using that link, so there's no commitment at all. Right, so here you have it. As you can see, we have 5 different ad copy testing ads set up. Now, if you want to do 8 or 9 or 10 and you want to test loads of different copy, I have no issue with that. We usually just keep to 5 or 6 because we can get it done relatively quickly and get things turned around. But as you can see, every single piece of ad copy is different. But other than that, everything is exactly the same. We haven't changed the headline. We haven't changed the creative. We're only testing for the ad copy. So what we do in this situation, now, trust me, I know you can be busy in life and you can get caught up with things. So what we want to do is set up a rule to make sure that the ads turn off when 400 impressions are hit. This will mean that you don't have to be constantly checking it. It's going to allow an even amount of budget to go to all the different ads. It's going to ensure that you can get through this testing phase really quickly. So how you're going to do this is you're going to select copy test in November. You're then going to select, so I've got loads of drafts, copy test in ad set, and then you're going to go to more, create a new rule, custom rule, and you're just going to call it when impressions are greater 400 turn. So apply rule 2. We want to apply it to all active ads in one selected ad set. Right, so I came to actually edit this video and for some reason the file was corrupt, so I'm having to re-record it again. I was actually still recording when I found out that the footage had been corrupt. Just to cheer you up, actually, here's a clip. For f***'s sake. Anyway, hopefully that's cheered you up. Let's continue. So obviously we're creating this rule. The purpose of it is we want all ads to be turned off when impressions are greater than 400. So we're going to select active ads in one selected ad set, and the action is to turn off the ad. Now, the condition, we're going to search for impressions. So when impressions are greater than 400, add that, it's going to turn that off automatically. And then you just simply press create. So when your ads are running, your budget's going to be evenly distributed because all the ones that are performing well, that are getting all the budget, will be turned off after 400 impressions. Now, I'm going to show you an example ad account once we've actually run this test so you can have a look at the metrics that we should actually be looking for and how you analyze which ad you should move on next to the headline testing. So this is actually one of our clients. So they've just finished the ad copy testing. We're now coming through. Obviously you can see on the left-hand side, they've all been turned off because we set up that rule. Now we need to figure out, right, which ad are we going to use as our base for the headline testing? So the key metric we look for is unique click-through rate. This is the amount of unique people that have seen your ad and decided to click through onto your landing page, form, whatever it might be. Now, if you don't have this option on your layout of columns, you can just go to the column section at the top here. If you scroll down, I might be in the way, but at the bottom, if you go to customize columns, which is here, and then if you simply just search for unique click-through rate, you can find it there, which will be ticked, and it might pop up at the bottom here, but you can literally just grab it on the left-hand side and bring it to the top. So you've got that metric there, and it's always worth potentially renaming it and saving it. So every time you come in, you've got that metric there. But as you can see here, we have one ad which has got a 5.84% unique click-through rate. Anything less than 2% in these testing phases, I would restart. So I'd go through the copy testing again, because really you should be getting over 2% in the copy testing, because we're just optimizing the campaign for clicks anyway, so we should get more clicks than we would usually do if we're optimizing for leads. But yeah, 5.84%. So in this situation, all we would do is go back to the campaigns. We would, if it was this one that we'd done the testing on, we would simply just click duplicate. We'd make sure all that was unselected, press continue, and it will create the campaign again. So duplicate, and obviously we know ad copy 6 was the winner. So all we're going to do is delete these here, delete, and make sure we're only left add copy SIP. Now we're left with this. This is the winner. We're obviously going to rename it because we're not copy testing anymore, we're headline testing. So we're going to call this new headline 1, and we're just going to put in brackets as well that this is the winner. So we know that this won the ad copy testing. Also going to rename the campaign itself because we don't want to get confused. Headline testing. And then simply all you would do, again, you're keeping everything the same. You're not changing any of the ad copy. The only thing you're changing this time is the headline. So you just scroll down and you're just changing the headline every single time. Obviously come up with your own ones. Make sure you do some competitor research, figure out headlines that work, touch on pain points, clear call to actions, all that sort of stuff you're looking into. But I'm just showing you quickly how you do it. And again, you quickly duplicate. You do this however many times, you're renaming, and then you're adding a new headline. So if you wanted to do this 6 or 7 times, that's fine. At the end of the day, the more testing you do, the more clarity you're going to have on what's working. So you've done the headline testing. Let's say you published it, you've set up that rule of impressions. You now want to figure out, right, well, which of the headlines has performed the best. You would literally come to say your, let me just find one we've actually ran. So say this was the headline testing. You come to it, you'd analyze the results. You're looking at unique click-through rate. Okay, we've got a 6.36% unique click-through rate. That is our winner. So again, literally go to the campaign and you would duplicate and follow that process again. But for the final stage, you're testing just the hook. So this is one we've already ran, but I'll just show you inside what it looks like. So as you can see, this time we were testing the hook. So the hook is this first sentence here. Before you have to press the see more button, this is what you're testing. So this is the deciding factor on if you're able to get people to stop scrolling, if you're able to touch on some form of pain point, some sort of emotion, make them resonate with what it is you're actually saying. You can do that in the hook. The hook is so powerful. Even in video ads, what you say within those first 2 to 3 seconds is going to be the deciding factor on if someone watches or they just scroll past. So you would have the exact same ad. You can see the headline's not changing throughout this. It's staying exactly the same at the bottom here. Nothing's changing. You're just testing the first sentence to find out what works the best. And again, same applies. You'd set up the rule, impressions greater than 400, you turn off. Now for the final part of the testing, this is the creative testing. All you would simply do, the only difference is, so you set up a campaign, you analyze, well, which hook has performed the best. So you come here, you'd say, right, okay, so 5.36% was our best performing ad. And all you would do, you would obviously write down the entire ad. So you might want to get up a Google Doc and you just copy this information, copy the headline, and then all you're going to do, the only difference is when you set up the creative testing, you're going to create it as a lead campaign. So it's exactly the same, manual leads campaign. Obviously name it creative testing. Obviously you can play around with your audience, turn off multi-advertiser ads, but this is where basically you're going to set up your creative image and obviously select the image that you're going to be using. Obviously you can fill in this with what was your best performing hook, ad copy, and then headline in here as well. And then obviously whatever call to action you want there. Skip. Again, just keep an eye out for these enhancements. We don't want any variables messing up our testing. Press done. So literally it would be a case of, again, make sure we're labeling things correctly. Creative testing 1. And all we're doing here is obviously we would quickly duplicate, rename, and then this time we'd be going to this section, pressing edit media, and then we'd be selecting a different video, creative, whatever it might be. Now for this, I would definitely recommend trying to, if you can, try and get 10 to 15 different videos, images in this creative testing stage. Especially with the updates Facebook has done, it's very creative heavy now. If you're not investing for your business in content creation, whether that be a one-off videography shoot from someone you know, or investing in a marketing agency to come down and do your creative sort of videography for you, then you will be missing out at some point. But you can get video content on your phone, you can play around with it, you can start, especially through this testing phase, you're going to be able to figure out what's working and what doesn't work. So it's a good opportunity for you to actually be inside the ad account and actually figure out what's best moving forward in terms of creative. But yeah, I'd absolutely stack this campaign with 10 to 15 different videos, images, carousels, and then the only difference with the rule this time is, so say you've got this stacked campaign with all these creatives, what you're going to do is you're going to obviously select the campaign, select the ad set, and for the rule you're going to create a new rule, custom rule, CPL is greater than. Now basically what we want here is we want it to automatically turn off the ads when the cost per lead is getting too high. So sometimes it's not even the case of getting too high, we just want the budget to be evenly distributed across all the different ads. So let's just say we're going to give each ad a minimum of £15 to spend. Oh sorry, that should be turn off ad. And then cost per result is greater than £15. I'm going to press add. Be careful for that because Meta sometimes just chucks it in. Cost per result is greater than £15. We're going to create. So automatically it's going to turn off all of your ads once they've reached £15 or once they've gone above a cost per lead of £15. So yeah, that's an overview. Hopefully that all makes sense. Now, if you do have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I'll be checking them and I'll be able to get back to you on sort of this testing phase. Obviously, this was an overview. Obviously, there's loads of different nuances to how it all works. But this should give you a shot at actually starting the testing phase and giving you an opportunity to actually figure out what your audience resonates with through this sort of thorough testing that we do. But like I mentioned before, if you are a home improvement business and you're doing over 100K a year and you're looking for a system that is going to create you high quality content, it's going to create you a landing page that converts at around 5 to 7%. It's going to reach out to your leads and inquiries that come through within the first 60 seconds of them inquiring, qualify them, make sure that the lead understand the cost involved, make sure you've got an idea of timeline, how quickly they're looking to move forward with it. All these tasks that take you, whether it be your evenings, your weekends, chasing these types of people, we have a system called Enhanced AI that does all that for you. So if you are interested in that, there's a link in the top of the description. You're able to book a call with myself and we can have a look at your current setup, see what you're doing and potentially see if it's the right fit for you. Like I say, like and subscribe. Any questions, just give us a shout in the comments and hopefully I'll see you all soon.